Hey everybody, Leo Dess here with the Access Control Executive Brief, and we're again at the ISC West show at the AI Discovery Zone. And the AI Discovery Zone again was 10 companies that came together where we could have a conversation about how AI is impacting the security industry. And with me is somebody who we've done this a couple times now. So Bart's with me here from RightCrowd. Why don't you, for those that don't know you, introduce yourself and introduce RightCrowd too, please.
Yeah, perfect.
Great.
Thanks, Lee, and thanks for having me. My name is Bart Vansevenant. I'm the Chief Product and Technology Officer for RightCrowd, so I run the product and the engineering organization. And for those of you who are not familiar with RightCrowd, we are in the space of what is known as PIM, Physical Identity and Access Management, but in a nutshell, we're like a smart platform software layer on top of access control. And what we do is automating everything related to access control. So onboarding a new employee in a fully automated way, offboarding changes that happen throughout the life cycle of an identity. We take care of all of that, push it down in the access control systems, and the other way around, we integrate up with any business system that is relevant for access control.
Very nice. And so talk to me about the value that what problem is it solving for?
Yeah. So there's really one simple challenge that we address. If you're a very large organization, large enterprise, if you try to manage physical access in a proper way, and the only thing you have is a physical access control system, then you're going to struggle.
Right.
Because a lot of it is like very manual, you're not integrated with anything. And so try, for example, managing tens of thousands of employees, they change roles, new people on board, people leave the organization. If you have to manually update all that in an access control system, that's just a mission impossible.
Yeah.
So we automate all of that. We make sure that all of these things get picked up from the relevant systems upstream, automate the processes, automate the workflows, things like that. So that's the challenge we address. So we take away a lot of manual labor and do it in a much more consistent, automated way.
Very nice. So, and how is AI impacting the product or being utilized?
Yeah. AI is super, super important. We can talk more broadly about the impact on the sort of physical industry, but for us specifically, there are two components that are highly relevant. First one is AI is completely changing the way that you interact with software. So if you're an end user, we're used to interacting with software in a certain way.
Right.
AI enables you a very, very new, different way of doing that. So that's what we're leveraging. Simple example, one of the things we're showing here at the show is the new chatbot type interface. Yes, we've been doing self-service for many, many years. You can enter in a website, like, I want to request access, I want to invite a visitor, and you type it all in a form.
Right.
With a chatbot, it's very simple. Just speak up or say or type what you want,
Yes.
and it will take care of it.
Okay.
So that's one important aspect of AI. And the second one is that, and that's to me the more fundamental one, is like AI enables you to do things in a much more sophisticated way than you used to be able to do.
Okay.
And one example in our software space is one of the things we do from a PIM perspective is something called recertification. A lot of the sort of viewers will know what it is. Like once a quarter, once a year, you need to review which access do people have. Do they still need that access? And if you look at how you do that, a lot of enterprises still do that in a highly manual way. The spreadsheet being sent around, etc. With PIM, we already made that much better. Like you automatically send out, here's a form, everything's nicely preset. You can have some additional enriched information. Was that access actually used? Yes or no? So that was a step forward.
Right.
But AI can take that to a completely new level. Instead of, and it's sad to see, like in a lot of organizations, you have these thousands of people you need to review. Do they still need to access? Yes, no, yes, no. It's like a process that does not make a lot of sense.
Correct.
With AI, you can now do something completely different. You can say, show me the people for whom I should spend some time reviewing whether or not they need the access. Everyone that doesn't matter, for whatever reason, I don't want to even see it. And that changes that whole process at two levels. First of all, it's much more effective, efficient. I now need to review maybe 20 people instead of 1,000.
Right.
But it also does it much better. And I've lived it. I was part of Verizon at some point and I got to review those lists. And guess what? After 20 lines, it's like,
I don't care.
oh, yes. And so the whole point of the review, lowering the risk, is gone. You don't do it. With AI, if I show you, just look at those 20, I'm going to pay attention. And I'm going to literally check, are they really needing that access still, yes or no?
Yeah, there's definitely an operational efficiency play that exists there. But then also like quality of work and like everything else. Then. All right, so I we've done this now enough that I appreciate the way you approach the marketplace and you're thoughtful for it. So when you're looking at the way AI is impacting the industry, what are your views on how it's impacting just in general the overall industry?
Yeah. I think we're going to see a true transformation in physical security for a couple of reasons. The first, for me, interesting observation is that 99% of the data that we gather in this industry, whether it's from access control, whether it's from video, etc., we're not doing anything with it. We're not using it. We're not learning anything from it. And I think AI allows you to really change that very rapidly and take video, doing something with all of those images that are being captured all the time in a smart way.
Right.
Great. Same in physical access control, like simple things like building management, capacity management. All of the data is there, but we were not using it because it was hard.
Right.
It took a lot of time analyzing the data, etc. With AI, it's as if you have 20 PhD students in front of you and you just tell them, do this for me, look for that, and you get the information instantly. And so that is really going to transform things in physical security. It's also going to reinforce something that you and I discussed a couple of weeks ago, like transformation from hardware to software.
Right.
This is going to speed it up even more.
Yep.
This is going to be software driven and hardware is there in support of.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And what's interesting to me is these conversations we're having in this zone. It also, there's an infusion of talent that doesn't necessarily care how it used to be.
Yeah.
And there's almost in a good way, not like an arrogant, like I don't care what you think, but like a fundamental belief of like, this is how things are done. So we would just apply that to this,
Yeah.
which is also, it feels like speeding up the adoption because they're not the friction. There's like no friction point.
Yeah.
It seems to be they're like starting at B to get to Z versus starting at A and working through the nonsense to get to there. I gotta believe there's some impacts that come from that happening out of the gate.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it's also going to help to mature our industry. And I need to be careful how I word this, but you know that my background has been cybersecurity, and cybersecurity up until like the year 2000 was fairly basic. It was antivirus, that's it. So you did not need to know too much, conceptually understand too much, etc. And you were fine as a CISO.
Right.
But then things rapidly changed. Yeah. And if you look at who is working in the cybersecurity industry, the level of sophistication, that has changed completely since roughly the year 2000. And I think we're going to see the same thing in physical security. So I think the impact for people working in physical security, regardless of whether you're on the vendor side or the end user side, this is going to become a different space. So you'll need to step up, you'll need to learn these things. And what I hope will happen is that from a maturity perspective, a lot in physical security is still, from my perspective, very basic. It's like, do you need access? Yes, no. We should start thinking about risk. Like, what is the risk of something happening? That is slightly a more sophisticated concept, but with AI, we now have the tools to start doing that. So
yeah.
I think it's really going to change also the type of profiles that work in physical security. And I hope the sort of level of knowledge and interest in the industry is going to step up.
I don't think it's a bad thing. It's not. I actually think it's more just an evolution of the expectations that are there. And I do think we've been able to leverage what we've known for 30 years to the point where it is currently now. And it's now this is about evolving beyond where we've been as an organization. It doesn't mean the one was bad or one is good. It just means it is what it is. So like it's an opportunity for those that want to and the desire plus the attraction of new talent that comes in. I think it's definitely one of those instances where this, if you want to, the desire's there, then it will elevate, and it's not a net negative. It's a net positive all around, delivering more value, safety. It's just all in general, and probably a better place to work long term. So, all right, well, I could do this forever with you, as we've already done a couple times to this point. So it's great. I thoroughly enjoy having these conversations with you, and I'm thrilled that we get this opportunity to share it also generally out to people. So if people want to have this conversation with you, where's the best place to reach you? And if they want to learn more about what RightCrowd's doing and some of the stuff that you have been talking about, where's a good place for them to go to find that out? Yeah,
sure. So anyone can go to the website, rightcrowd.com. My contact details are on the website as well, so they can reach out to me. And we're also here at ISC West at the booth. 30,053 is the booth number. So happy to meet people there as well.
Wonderful. Thank you for taking the time to do this. And I look forward to the next one.
Thank you very much, Lee.